and I have Nate here, and I'm gonna join us and let's get going. Thank you guys for waiting. All right.
My desktop, and I'm like, I'm here.
You made it. Do you have a headset by any chance?
I do. Hold on.
See if you have one. That would be great.
I
Hi
do.
guys, while we let Nate set up, it's actually my fault. I should always ask my guests to prepare with the headset. It just sounds so much better. So George, for sure, we need to bring you here, talk music, talk Chi-Town, social scene and dancing scene and what's new in the bachata world, including European style, which is something that I never heard of, and that just show how behind I am. So Melo, let's plan something, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. I would love to invite more DJs to share their music experience. We had DJ Koki, one of our favorite salsa DJs, our very good friend from Orlando here with us not too long ago. You can search back in the videos. We had a great talk about salsa music and salsa dancing. Rosa, what's going on? All right, we're just waiting a few minutes for Nate to get a headset. I'm going to have a really good talk with my friend right here about dancing, about his event, about his stories. And that's it, ADC in 121 days. We're going to Cuba. And we have Hector Acosta and Torito. And we have Grupo Extra and a lot of salsa. So if you've never been in Havana, if you've never been on ADC, or if you've been on ADC, you don't want to miss that. I think I see Nate here with a headset. Let's see. Can you hear me, Nate?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my little thing.
Wayne, what's up? What's up? I need to bring you here too and talk DJing and music. Can't wait for June. Rosa, that would be amazing. Nate, I hear myself twice. I don't know why.
Hold on, bro.
No, but that's, I guess.
Is that better?
Yes.
Is that better?
So much better. So much better.
Sorry,
Thank you.
man.
What's up, my friend?
How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for joining me. Why, are you working right now at the office?
Yeah, my house is my office, so I do real estate from like 6 in the morning to about 5, and then I'm in my studio from 5:30 to like midnight. So long days.
That's good. Working from home is the best. We're good? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, Nate, really quick, thank you so much. Hold on. What up, Moshe? So, yes, Wayne, we're going to bring you here. But right now, thank you, Nate. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me. I like to call these sessions just a chat between friends, so it's nothing too official. And now we have the opportunity to share it with so many people to post their question and share what they think. Just for the record, I want to start by saying that even though we never spend too much time in front of each other and speaking in person, I got a chance to meet with you on our ADC last year. And beside that, we had a couple of phone calls between us, but we have this tremendous respect to each other, even though we don't know each other well. And thank you again for joining us. And for the very few that don't know who you are, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself.
So my name is Nate Strager. I've been in the scene 21 years this year. I started in 98, 99 when I was maybe 5 years old. I'm joking. So I'm an old man now. This year is my 20-year anniversary for Sin City Salseros. So we started the Congress maybe 15, 16 years ago. My company 20 years ago, I used to do just like everybody else. I used to be in the Congress circuit, you know, city to city, country to country. And then since then, I've mainly focused more on the business side of things. So I opened my building, focused more on cinema and other things, and my school. My team is still there, but you know, I think the business side takes over. So
that's amazing. 21 years. So that's already a lot, meaning, you know, we have so many people in the scene that have been around for a year or 2 or 3 or 4. And every time I meet someone that been around for that long, I have great respect for the fact that you're still here, but also you've seen a lot of things, right?
Yeah, I've seen things change from when there was maybe 2 or 3 Congresses in the U.S. to now there's 2 or 3 every weekend. So I've definitely seen the changes. I've seen the changes when there was 3 or 4 bands per night, kind of like what you're doing. You know, I remember going to LA and there was Oscar de Leon, Sonora Ponceña, Típica 103, all in one night. I mean, it was amazing. I remember when everybody would bring their clothes backstage just so they can run and go social dance. Now people go to the hotel room afterwards and sit for 3 hours and come down at 3 in the morning, and they don't social dance anymore. So things have definitely changed.
When you say people, you mean the artists or the
I
dancers?
think just everybody. No, I think just everybody. I think things have just changed in that sense, for whatever reason. Sometimes people just like to go and have a toast, which is normal. Sometimes people, I don't know. It's just changed in that sense for whatever reason.
You mentioned Sin City Salseros. Is that a
Yes.
group? Is that the event name?
No, that's my company. So that's my dance company. We used to, you know, just like everybody, we used to travel to a different event and teach and social dance and things like that. The past probably 5-6 years, we really trimmed back. We only do a few events per year because in Las Vegas we get, you know, there's a lot of corporate events. So here we make $500 to $800 per person, and we don't have to travel. So it really takes a lot of stress off of us. I mean, there's 16,000 conventions in Las Vegas. When you go to an event traveling with 6 or 8 people, you know, an event promoter is paying you maybe $200-300 per person, and you have to spend the entire weekend. So from a business perspective, it makes more sense for us to stay here, make more money, do less work, and it just makes more sense.
Nice. How long you had your Congress?
My Congress has been around 15, 16 years. Started really small. We did 20 room nights, I think, the first year. And now we're at 2,500 room nights. So we've definitely grown.
Wow. And where else did you see the growth or the change beside the amount of people?
For me, it's been the growth in bringing artists. When I say artists, I mean dancers. So I'm very passionate about salsa. Like, I respect bachata and kizomba and all that stuff. My biggest thing is, you know, as long as people are dancing, I'm happy, you know. At least they're dancing. But I'm diehard salsero, like diehard. I love salsa. That's my thing. But I think the biggest change has just been in, like, I try and bring as many good artists and put them in one spot, because I like to look on the floor and see, like, wow, man, this is so inspiring, you know, like Karel dancing with Fernando, or Osmar dancing with blah, blah, or, you know what I mean? And it's just like, wow, this is like a good feeling. And I like that feeling. I think we all started dancing for the same reason, because we were inspired. At one point in time, we saw salsa or bachata or whatever, and we go, wow, this is amazing. I need to learn this.
What got you into salsa specifically? You mentioned that's your favorite from all the genres of dance.
What got me into salsa was women. So the first...
Man, you're the honest interview I ever had. Business, making money, women, no BS.
Yeah. Well, that's how I got into it. So that's not why I'm in it now, right? I mean, I sacrificed everything to have my building and everything else. But the first time, so I used to work at this dairy. Quick story. I used to work at this dairy, and there was this guy that used to come to Las Vegas from California. His name was Antoine, and he had a twin brother named Satuan, right? So purely not Latino, right? So they used to tell me, oh man, you got to come to LA and the Mayan in downtown and da-da-da. And I go, bro, you're fucking black. I mean, what the hell? You know what I mean? Because I was very ignorant in that sense, where I didn't understand culture, right? I mean, I didn't really grow up in culture. I grew up in a really poor area, and I didn't understand there was Honduras and Belize, and I thought everything was Mexican at that point, right? So anyways, long story short, I went to LA finally after like a year. I went into the Mayan, and it was unbelievable. I mean, there was like 2,000 people. There was an all-Japanese band, Orquesta de la Luz, singing on stage.
You remember? Nice.
Yes, I remember. Orquesta de la Luz, all Japanese. everybody was dancing with everybody, and at the end of the dance, they would kiss each other on the cheek. So I thought, holy shit, everybody's banging everybody. Like, in my mind, I didn't, like, that wasn't normal, you know? So I wasn't used to that. So it really changed my whole perception. I was like, wow, these people are so friendly, and it was amazing. And then I asked these girls to dance, right? They were standing in a line, and I said, hey, do you want to dance? They're like, no, white guy. Hey, do you want to dance? No, white guy. Or I was getting all of it. No, I'm joking. And they were all waiting to dance with the same guy, and it was Johnny Vasquez. And
Wow.
Johnny was wearing striped pants with a plaid shirt, and you know, he's like this skinny, right? And you know, he's got a big grill, and he's just very just very big personality. And I was like, holy shit, man, they're all waiting to dance with this skinny guy. And so, you know, I was like an athlete in high school. I was in great shape, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter, right? So I was like, okay, I have to learn how to dance. And the next day I went to the dance factory in Long Beach, and I took my first class from Salsa Brava. And it was Joby and Luis. It was like 50 people, and that was it.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
And how do you manage? You mentioned real estate. Is that your assistant?
Yeah, I have two dogs. One of my dogs is getting groomed right now, and I have to bring the other one in. Give me a second. Sorry. It's like one or the other. Hey, how are you? Sorry. Just a quick switch.
Guys, this is the beauty of going live. There are no editing. There's no shortcuts. Nothing. Like the real deal. I need to put my headset on and move my dog, my son. It's all good, man. It's all good. So you manage two successful careers, and I think this is something that would go along the line with everything that we talked about. Dance is my business. So we talked to a lot of people that dance is their business, period. But also, I really respect a lot of people that manage both career. How does that work for you?
It doesn't, and that's why I'm separated. Because all of my time is dance. I gave up everything to have this dance life, right? So I work early in the morning, real estate. I have to, because you know, I have my bills, I have my studio bills. I mean, I have a lot of overhead, and so I work. You know, I make pretty decent money, and so I work real estate from like 6, 7 in the morning till 5, and then I'm at my studio from 5:30 till like midnight, and that's 4 days a week. Friday I'm there maybe 5 hours. The weekends I'm there doing choreo, and then we travel. We have corporate gigs. We're working on bigger projects. So there's just no time at all.
No time, but
no balance at all.
Do you love real estate as much as you love dancing?
No, I wish I could wake up in the morning, go take a stretch class, take ballet, go to lunch, come back, take rumba, come back, take hip hop. I mean, I love dancing. I'm not the greatest dancer by any means, not even in the top 100, but I love it. I love to learn. It's like eating to me. The more class I take, the better I feel.
Do you enjoy, like, do you take classes when you attend other congresses or even at your event?
Oh yeah, I take classes every week. So I take hip hop, rumba, I take ballet, I take jazz. Every week I take class from instructors. I'm sitting in a class next to my students. When I go to congresses, I take as many privates as I can. Tito and Tamara, Osmar. I just had Tatiana Bonaguro at my house for 5 days. I was picking her brain. So I take as many privates as I can, as much as I can, because I'm an instructor and I'm a choreographer and I'm a teacher. So I have to keep learning. You know, you can't get stagnant.
How do you think the West is different than the East when it comes to salsa? Let's talk, you know, something that you're familiar with.
Ooh, so you want filter or no filter?
No filter. I told you that before.
You know, I don't see a lot of people train on the West Coast. Maybe they dance mambo and they train in mambo, but I think dance has evolved way past that. I think people. I mean, now you see what Afro mambo and modern mambo. Everybody's trying to change it, right? So right. I think maybe 10, 12 years ago, people were just salseros, but I think that the level, if if you're not training and you're not understanding upstage, downstage, and lines and stuff like that, I think you're going to get left behind. So I think the West Coast doesn't train as cross train. So let me say that again. Maybe they don't cross train as much. Maybe if they just dance mambo, that's all they do is train mambo, mambo. That's it. They just do mambo. On the East Coast, I see a lot of people taking jazz, ballet, a lot of Afro. And I think you're only going to get better and have more bullets for your gun if you train in more different genres.
Cross training, having a more than just one experience in dance. I totally agree with you, and you can tell when you see people dance that they have more training than just one. And how is it to work with our beloved dancers? I mean, we love them. We obviously admire them. We see them. We get inspired. But people need to understand working with dancers is a whole different ball game. It can be the best thing, and it can be some challenging at times, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm pretty straight, right? So I've worked with dancers that are very diva or divo, and I won't work with them. Like I worked with this couple, and the girl was like, "Oh no, I have to go through Houston to get to Vegas," and I'm like, "Well, but I'm taking you through Miami. What's the difference? It's a short layover. It's not like I'm putting you on a 3-4 hour layover. It's like an hour layover. Why do you have to go through Houston?" She goes, no, I must go through Houston, or I can't come to Vegas. I was like, well, then sit your ass at home. I mean, it's just stupid, right? Or now, this is the best one, and I'm sure you hear this all the time. I have to fly Delta. I have to fly United. I have to fly whatever, right? Do you get that one now, or no?
When I get it with no explanation, I find it very funny. I mean, what makes you so loyal to a company, especially when we buy a ticket for you? But but when a dancer come to me with a reasonable excuse, like for example, look, I have a status with Delta or United, and if you fly me with them, I get an extra bag and an early check-in, and it's very convenient to me. We are trying to accommodate, but there's no doubt that if the demand doesn't have any backup, there's just a demand, it makes it more difficult to work with that artist.
I just get the excuse that I get more miles. So they get more miles, so they get more free trips, right? And I'm like, well, if you want to pay the difference between this price and what you want, I have no problem doing it. You know, there's some really good dancers that are, I think, there was a new couple that's coming up, and they're really easy to work with. They're like, whatever you need. Perfect example is Marco. Marco is like easy, right? He's like, whatever you need. You need me to teach more. You need me to teach longer than an hour. You need me to do this or that. It's no problem. I don't charge extra. I'll social dance as long as you want. You know, I think people like that are super, super, super easy to work with. And sometimes I feel like the newer dancers feel more entitled. And I feel like the older dancers don't feel as entitled. I don't know. I don't know if you get the same reaction.
I mean, I would not put it as a young or old. I would just describe it as a mindset. People that think long run and understand the business, understand that if it's easy to work with them, there is a high chance they're going to bring you again. So they don't just think about the short term. They think about the success of the event, the ease on the promoter, and obviously, hey, if we're a win-win, if it's a win-win situation for everybody, most likely I'll come back again. So let me turn this question to you. What makes you work with the same dancer over and over again?
So there's 3 things that they have to do. There has to be a good show, there has to be a great workshop, and they have to social dance, right? So we've seen these same threads where people go, well, I get there and I am teaching 4 hours of privates and I have rehearsal and blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, wait a second. We're paying for your airline flight. We're paying for your hotel. We're paying for your food. So your priority is to us. It's not that you're just getting paid $800 or $2,000 as pay. Your 2 plane tickets are $1,000 each. Your hotel is $800 or whatever it is. Your food is $200. So you know, you should be more focused on pleasing us. I feel social dancing is really important because a lot of people are like, where is so-and-so? Where is so-and-so? So all 3 of those aspects have to be met. And I think the mentality has changed tremendously when it comes to social dancing. People are like, oh, I don't have to social dance. I have 3 privates in the morning. Well, your 3 privates are a benefit from me flying your ass there. That's how I feel. So that's what makes me work with people that are super easy. I've never had a paper contract with any of my dancers since I started, ever.
Mm-hmm. Do you think social dancing can be forcible?
I force it because I think it's really important. And if they don't want to do it, it's okay. I have no problem with that. I just won't bring you back. Plain and simple. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, I hope people hear it, because obviously there are certain things that were similar. There are certain things that we see differently, but it's important for dancers to see and understand what goes behind the event production, and what goes, what's on the producer mind. Because at the end of the day, if there's a mutual respect and if everybody's winning, it's a good relationship, and a relationship that can keep on growing. So one of the things that we touched on was social dancing, obviously putting a good show. What do you think? Because you, again, going back to the fact that you've been around for years, and you mentioned a couple of names of dancers that've been around for many years, and for me, I have such a tremendous respect to them, because it's not easy. Every year there are new dancers coming with a ridiculous show, and they just get younger and talented every year. What makes a dancer, what helps or takes to stay in business for a long time? Nate? All right, we lost Nate. We are going to try to add him again. Let me try him on one more time. Sorry, guys. There's so much benefit for these
Are you
live
there?
feeds and then challenges.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm back. You're
Sorry,
back?
man. My phone just rang 4 times in a row, and I kept pressing ignore, and they kept calling. I'm sorry.
I was just telling to everybody, like, it's such a benefit that we have this opportunity to talk while we're not next to each other, and we can reach so many people. But there are challenges too, like internet and
Yeah, I'm
people
sorry, man.
calling us.
I'm
So
so
I was
sorry.
just asking you, we talked about the good show and being easy to work with, but what else you think it takes for a dancer to stay in the business for a long time?
So I think you have to be likable, but I think you have to understand that it is a business. So we were talking about social dancing, right? So how many times have you seen it where headliners go out to go social dance, but they're all in a group? They'll only dance together, right? They won't dance with the general public, or they only eat together. I mean, it's just kind of like that, right? So I think that in our salsa world and our dance world, I think it's really important to understand that it's a business. And the reason why me or you or another promoter hires these artists is because there's appeal. So there's so many congresses now. Why would me as an attendee go to one congress or another? Because I only have so much vacation time. I only have so much money. So I have to be choosy, right? So I think a lot of it comes down to artists. Oh, I want to go see ABC Dance Company or Salsa Caliente or whoever the fuck it is, right? So I think if I'm spending money and I'm taking time off work just because I'm so inspired by you, John Smith or Jose Garcia or whoever you are, and I want to take your workshops and I want to see your shows and I can't wait to social dance with you and I follow you on Instagram. I think the social aspect of it is so important. It's extremely important because that's a huge reason why we hire these people, is because they inspire us. So if you're just gonna kind of sniff your nose up at me when I ask for a dance, then I'm gonna get turned off and I'm not gonna follow you anymore and I'm gonna go, follow somebody else, right? So I think what makes it long term is they have to be likable, they have to be personable, they have to be humble, super humble, and they have to always work hard. No matter who you are, you have to work hard, because at the end of the day, you're getting paid to dance for a living. Holy shit, man. Well, that's a dream.
How
I
lucky
mean,
we are, right? Yep.
that is a dream, and people feel like they're so entitled, and you know, I'm so and so and blah blah blah. Let me explain something to all of you out there that are trying to come up or are in the business right now that are getting paid. There was Salsa Brava, there was Rumberos, there was Salsa Boricache, there was all these teams and all these couples that came up before you. And guess what? When they left, there was the next person waiting in line to be the next big thing. Or if you stop and we don't hire you, guess what? There's people like Jorge and Maria from Mexico who are traveling so much now because they're so easy to work with. So I'm just using them as one example, right?
Right.
But I think that's the biggest thing, because guess what? If you blow out your knee or you blow out your elbow or you blow out your neck or whatever it is and you can't dance anymore, none of these dancers have Aflac. I mean, you're not getting paid. So you better take advantage of what you have while you have it. Be personable, be humble, work hard so that we will hire you more and push you more. Because just like you, people call me, other promoters, and go, hey, how was it to work with X, Y, and Z? Oh, it was great. Easy, made my life easy, wasn't a headache. Or, you know, so-and-so, oh my God, it was so hard working with so-and-so. God forbid they didn't have free water, me standing next to them with free water and a towel, toweling them off. I mean, I've had dancers like that. They're like, where's my free water? Where's the towel? Did you know that there was a long line at the buffet? I'm like, fuck, man, I can't control that, you know? So
Wow.
I think, I mean, I'm sure you deal with it. There's no way you can't, there's no way I'm the only one.
No. Everybody deal with that, and the dancers that understand the partnership that we have when we hire them are definitely are the people that stay here for the long run. And being a part of the event, you mentioned social dancing. You mentioned being humble. Everything that all falls under the umbrella of being a part of the event. And you mentioned promoters talking to each other. I also would like to add that nowadays with, you know, Facebook and social media and email blasts and surveys and all the different things that we have, I hear it directly from the people.
Right.
You know, when somebody's humble, dancing, giving a good workshop, putting a great show, and being a part of the event, trust me, it doesn't take too many days after an event where everybody is messaging and talking, and I see the reviews online, and I travel to congresses and I ask, and you know, that's what's so nice. Everybody talks about privacy, but nowadays it's all out there. It's all out
Right.
there for the good and the bad. So important to be a big part of the event, and be noticeable, and food and stuff like that. I mean, I completely get it. Communication. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
I think we're in an industry that's completely disorganized, and not, I mean, we're in a multi-million dollar industry, right? Think of
Right.
how many think of how many congresses there are right now. Let's say each one of them costs anywhere from 50 grand to over a quarter million, right? I mean, this is from clothes to shoes to travel to cruises to to congresses, but there's no retirement for these dancers. There's no health benefits. There's no
Yeah.
there's just so many things. Like, you're super smart. You're like I remember getting off the boat and you were passing out cards saying, hey, register in the next two days and you get a discount. Da da da. That was a super 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 smart business move. And I think, and I actually always bring up your name. People always ask me, like in interviews and things like that, like, how is it, da da da. And I always say, man, this guy is so smart. I pick up a lot of tips from you from a business aspect, and you have to treat it as a business. This isn't just our friends. Like, we're not friends, right? Like, we don't call each other and say, hey man, you want to go get a milkshake? I mean, it doesn't happen, right? But from a business standpoint, we respect each other, and I learn a lot from you. I even tell my partner Jose, I'm like, this guy is so smart from a marketing standpoint. We need to follow some of the things that he's doing. And I think as dancers, if you don't understand that it is a business, and you are so lucky to dance for a living. I just saw you were with Gary Vee, right?
Yeah.
And I remember watching Gary Vee. I watch a lot of motivationals. And he goes, we're like 1 in a 7 trillion that we can become humans, right? So what's the odds that we're not only 1 in a 7 trillion chance that we're a human, that we became human and not a cockroach, but that we dance for a living? I mean, it's got to be even higher, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that somebody would pay us. Not that we don't work hard or whatever the case may be, but man, you got to be humble and realize how lucky you are that somebody's going to drop $1 on you and bring you and pay you to come and dance. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being old school, but I just think there's a lot. I think that they have to be more cognizant and realize how lucky they are.
I think anyone that does what they love for a living and get excited and happy 80% of the time, because obviously we're not happy and excited every single moment we're working on our event, but I would say the vast majority, I'm very, very excited and very happy. And that's where you're lucky. I mean, for us, it's dance. For somebody else, it can be something else. I have also to thank you for the compliments. You know, all the marketing tactics that you're mentioning, I mean, yeah, it's marketing. Yes, it helps with sales, but it comes from a good place in the sense that the most important people that I want back at our events are people that attended it. You know, so why not taking care of them? You know what I mean? Yeah, of course we're getting a booking, of course we're getting a client, but by taking care of them because they attended the event and give them a discount, yeah, of course we enjoy the fact that they come back, but this is just appreciation for loyalty, appreciation for coming back, and all these little things come just from a good place of taking care of the people that take care of us.
But I think that that's a good thing for you to say in public, and now people know that. People say, "Wow, I really appreciate that." You know what I mean? So I think that's awesome that now.
Look,
people know
I always
that.
give the example that we can take, you add up all the $100 off time, 1,000 people or 500 people that get it. I can put that into the radio or TV and get most likely the same amount of people, but it's not the same amount. It's not the same people. The dancers, the people from our community, people that actually are part of ADC and make our family, just like you have your Vegas family. Those are the people that we want more than anything else. And a discount is definitely well worth it. Let me ask you something. How do you feel about the unity in our scene? Zero. So let me hang up right here.
No,
Thank
I'm joking.
You so
No, I'm joking. No. I think there's a lot of unity. I just think there's a lot of invidia, you know? Like I think, you know, if you call me or I call you, you know, and you're like, hey, you know, can you push ADC? I'm like, yeah, of course, you know? I think we all try and help each other. I think that there's the unfortunate side of things where people get envious because they see success. And I think that's too bad. I think that we can all learn from each other, and I think we can help those people get to that success as opposed to hating on me or you or somebody else. I mean, you didn't get to where you were by chance. You worked your ass off, you know? So like we just called the Chicago promoter. We were like, hey, is there a chance we can get our banner up in Chicago, and in exchange we'll do the same thing in Vegas? They were like, yeah, no problem. It's perfect. Let's support each other. I feel if there was more, I feel if everybody really truly support each other and really just see it as a how do you say, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, competition. I think we can grow a lot more. So I think there's almost 400 million people in the U.S. There's more than enough to go around to go to all of our events. So I think if go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think if we all realize that and really support each other, I think that dance itself, our salsa, bachata community, zouk, kizomba, I think that it can grow a lot faster as opposed to us, you know, sometimes kind of having invidia or something else, you know?
100%. I think the lack of support is simply and purely a lack of confidence and insecurity. On the other side, I mean, if you're confident and if you're secured, I don't care. Come to my event, watch Chicago, LA, Miami, New York, Vegas. Go to these events, of course. And if you find them more valuable than it, sure. You know, look, if somebody want to go after your people, they can, you
Right.
know, or vice versa. You can promote online, you can promote on TV, you can do different things, Facebook, Google. So I think support between promoters and between events is eh, only a benefit and not a threat. And on the contrary, maybe we can book together the same dancer for 3 events together,
And
get them
help.
for help each other. You get a better
Yes.
price because we booked him for 5 events together. Yet he's very happy because it's very important. He just got 5 events for next year.
Yep.
Even though it's for a discount, I'm sure most these dancers would love that. So, and on, concert artists, support, marketing, sponsorship. I mean,
Right.
most of your sponsors would love to have 5 more events. So if you really think that somebody going to leave you, you know, fine. My experience also owning a dance studio, trying to lock your students and not expose them to events or other studios, just a
Yeah.
lack of you know, just insecurity. That's
Yeah,
all.
I think that's really common, but I think if, and like I said, I think that's where the business side comes in though, because how many dancers or DJs now are just doing events, right? They just set
Fine.
up a, yeah, no, I know, but if they learn the business side of it, they would be more successful. And I think then they would be more confident that we can all support each other. I guess that's where I was kind of going with it.
100%. As far as I'm concerned, we can have double the events that we have per year in the
Yeah.
dance world, and we're still gonna have plenty. There are a lot
Yeah.
of people every year they're coming. I'm actually more concerned about people leaving the scenes than not too many people joining the scene. I think a lot of people are joining the scenes, but they're leaving really quickly for different reasons. If it's, you know, life, the studio that they went to, the event that they weren't happy with, you know. Um, but that's interesting. I agree with you. More people should be secure enough and support each other and not see it as a threat. Did you experience anything in our scene where you felt like somebody's not supporting, somebody want to put you down?
Wow. So I'm going to tell this story and it's going to be really, people are going to be like, holy shit. So when I first got into the scene, I hung around with, you know, all the old schoolers, the salsa brava, rumberos, right? And I was put down a lot for being white, right? So
For
I'm
being
tall.
white?
Oh yeah, I'm tall, and they would call me grandota, jirafe, like it was constant, right? The brothers on the West Coast would put me down nonstop, nonstop. I mean, it was consistent. Always go out. We kind of had the same friends, but as soon as they start drinking, it was like, "You're so white. You're so uncoordinated." Speaking Spanish because they know I didn't know Spanish. Laughing, pointing. I was like, "Man, this is so di- discouraging." You know, like I'm really trying. I really fell in love with this, and you're just like tearing me down. You know, and that was really tough, and it took me a long time to gain confidence, and I was always trying to hunch down when I danced because they put in my head that I was too tall and too white. You know, this is the Vasquez brothers, you know, Francisco especially, the worst towards me by far. So I know everybody's like, oh, drama, blah blah blah, but I'm being honest. You know, I feel that that's the worst thing that you can do is discourage somebody. And man, it took like I was hunched over, my neck was because I felt like I was too tall and I stuck out. It was really really discouraging, and I would never do that to a student ever.
Yeah, I cannot weigh in too much on that. I actually don't know the guys, even though I heard about them. I'm sorry you experienced that. I'm sure it was a long time ago, but you know,
Yeah,
um, who said that? Let me see. I forgot the name.
we all
Frank
grow
Sinatra.
as sorry.
Frank Sinatra actually said the best revenge is massive success. So that
Yes.
being said, what's your business goals for your event?
So for my events, we're trying to bring more artists, more dancers. My goal is to bring every good dancer in one event if I can. That's my goal. I actually tried to take a page out of your book and try to make for this year my pool party even better because I realized being on your cruise how much people really just kind of let loose when it's more like a casual vibe, and they just had so much fun. So we're definitely trying to make the pool party aspect of it a lot funner, a lot more experience. Like, you know, I don't know. I took a lot of pages out of your book, and being a lot more organized. People say, "Oh, your event is so organized," but you know, behind the scene, we're pulling our hair out, right? Or what's left of it, right? So yeah, just trying to make it better. You know, we have the competition now. It's in its fourth year. We have a lot more qualifiers throughout the world. We have Salsa Nama finals and things like that. So just trying to make it a better experience and more organized. So we're hiring more staff to make it a better experience. And like I said, a lot of this stuff I actually learned from your cruise last year. So I got to thank you
Thanks,
for
man.
that.
A lot of compliments. I'm gonna repost this interview here like 20 times. I really appreciate the confidence. Just trying to do the right thing. You mentioned ADC and ADC experience, so let's touch on that a little bit and pay my bills. How was your ADC experience?
It was awesome, man. It was so organized. I mean, I would have never thought to rent a boat, especially a whole boat. I mean, holy shit, man. But it's so organized. Like everything is on time. All the staff that you have, from the MC, from what's his name, Cadence,
Clifton.
Clifton. Thank you. I'm actually bringing Clifton to Vegas because I saw him in ADC because he was such a great hype man, right? So we talk about that, right? Just the organization, the experience, the fact that you have really big salsa and bachata artists is really rare. A lot of places either have one bachata artist or one salsa artist, but they don't have both. So the fact that you cater to both genres at such a high level is really impressive. And like I said, we all work so hard and we all go to so many congresses because congresses are normal, right? Oh, we have to do a great show. We have to, you know, kill it, blah, blah, blah. But in your place, not only is there good shows, but it's just more, it's a vacation. I mean,
Of course.
it's the best vacation. I mean, you're on a boat and then you get off and you're on a beach. I mean, and it's all dancers. I mean, come on, man. It's awesome. It was really, really like a rejuvenation, you know, when I got back. So
Thank you.
super.
Really appreciate all the comments and compliments. You know, one thing that a lot of promoters I think should remember is yes, salsa, yes, bachata, yes, dancing and shows. But for most people, your event is their vacation. And in some cases, the vacation for the year. So as long as you treat it as a vacation and you really think about all aspects from organizations to experience to everything that would make your vacation a good vacation, because I'm thinking about coming to Vegas for a long time. I never had a chance to experience your event, but I will. Trust me, I will. Um, that will help tremendously for you just to do the right thing. And you got a lot of compliments here in our comments. Both of our favorite events. Rubia here, by the way, speaking of a great vacation, who doesn't want to go to New Orleans, right? And
New Orleans.
experience that. Somebody mentioned here, Araceli, Super Congress. What makes your event a Super Congress?
So, you know, there's so many festivals and congresses, right? So many, right? So the new person doesn't know the difference uh, between the different events, right? They don't know, right? Let's say somebody started dancing 6 months ago and there's 15 events in front of them. How do they know the difference, right? So
Right.
I thought, okay, I have a competition that gives away 20 grand. I'm the only Salsa Nama finals in North America to go to Fernando's event in Milan, right? Plus, I do a congress. Plus, I'm in Vegas. So I thought, man, I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be different. So I named mine the Super Congress. It's competition, it's salsa nama, it's normal Congress, it's insane pool parties. You can go to shows. I mean, we're on the strip. It's not like we're 30 minutes outside of Vegas. So I thought, man, I need to be like the only Super Congress in the world. And I like it because I'm different. So whether you like it or you don't, I'm different.
No, I love the name. I think it's a really cool name. And I do think there gotta be some sort of a consensus along, you know, in the scene of what events can call themselves a festival or a congress. And one of them what events are, I don't know, a weekend there. If you have 100 people and you're starting, there's nothing wrong with that. We all started. ADC at the beginning was a very small event, but to right off the bat, to call yourself a congress, or who knows, tomorrow we're going to hear about a lot of super congresses around the country, now that you mention it. We need salsa cruises from New York. That's going to come too. Guys, if you have any questions, please post them here, because we have Nate for a few more minutes. He's a busy guy. I'm going to let him go in just 1 second. Nate, before I let you go, what's your secret to success?
Oh man, I work hard, man. I mean, like I said, I know this is personal, but I lost my marriage because I work so much. So I work a lot. There needs to be balance in your life, but for me, there wasn't. So you have to work hard. I think that's important for success. But one thing I also learned from that was have balance. You have to have balance. You have to have balance in your life. You have to treat the people around you like family, because if they're loyal to you, you must respect them and take care of them, because you can't do it on your own and I can't do it on my own. So I think we really have to take care of the people around us. So work hard, have balance, take care of the people around you. Don't take anything for granted. Life is short. Before you know it, you're in your 40s or 50s. And just be humble. I think those things are really, really important. I'm sure I'll remember 2 or 3 more things after, but I think those things are really important.
Now, this is great. I hope everybody heard everything that you said. Balance, family, loyalty. So easy to say, yet it's, you know, that common sense is not that common. What was your favorite moment as a promoter? Araceli is asking.
What was the favorite moment as a promoter? I think my favorite moment as a promoter is seeing people happy. I think when people are happy, I feel happy, because I spend 365 days planning one event. And when people come up to me and go, "Oh my God, I'm having such a great time," it makes it all worth it. It's not that I make $1 or $1,000, because we do this for passion, right? We do it because we love it, and we do it because we believe in dance. We do it because we believe that the world should be dancing. And I know that sounds corny, but I know that that's what we believe, and we're very passionate about it. So when people are happy and they're appreciative, that really, really, really makes me happy.
I agree 100%. It happened to be that I also received a few emails from people saying, "Thank you so much. Your event changed my life. I met my wife at your event," or
Yes.
someone who just had a very tough year, lost their mother and their job, and her son got into an accident, sent me an email and they said, "You know, I had such a horrible year. I thought about canceling my cruise, but I still came because I wanted to disconnect, and I had such a great time." That opened my, like, blew my mind away as far as the impact that we have. It's so much more than just an event, you know. And now we are intentionally also donating cabins when we have to veterans and kids that cannot
Oh, that's
afford it,
awesome.
and on and on. It's just like, what's better than that, right?
Right. No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome to hear. I think those are all positive stories, and I think we need to stay positive as opposed to, you know, having NVIDIA or being negative. I think if we support each other and really help each other, you know, like you helping veterans. I didn't know that. I mean, that's awesome. That's something
It
that,
was an evolution between me meeting a bunch of great veterans on ADC, and also ADC happened to be always around Veterans Day in November. And they're the best. They're the
right.
best, and they serve us and they protect us. Yep. You know, and sharing your story too, like you mentioned about your beginning in the scene, my beginning in the scene, I was close to a bunch of promoters and people that just talked negative about so many promoters. Stay away from these guys, stay away from that guy, this is not a good guy. And then when I actually got to meet most of them, they were so far from that story, and that I heard, and they were just great people that people just hated on. So
I
experience it yourself.
Yeah, I think that as people, we're never gonna see things eye to eye all the time. We're always gonna agree. You know, we have to agree to disagree. Like you talked about calling things festivals or congresses or weekenders. I posted that and I got my head chopped off. You know, and I was like, but how does somebody know? Somebody that's only been in the scene three or 6 months. Like, there's nothing wrong with going to a weekender. That doesn't mean that it's less of an event.
I think it's actually a benefit. From the people that I talk to, I know a lot of dancers that are looking intentionally to the small events versus the big one with the 5,000 people, because they say those are the best. I have the best connection. I meet all the dancers. I have the best time. So again, insecurity. My friend, your event is on July what?
July 4th through the 8th.
July 4th to the 8th. Website and how people can stay in touch with you, send you a message, ask you questions.
Yeah, they can go to lvsbcongress.com or lasvegassalsacongress.com or mysalsacongress.com. I know it's a lot, but there's different facets of our website. So can you add 10? So yeah, come down, check it out, and you need to get down. I don't think you're doing anything 4th of July weekend.
I have to. Look, they say whatever happened on ADC stays on ADC. Is it true with Vegas?
Oh man, Vegas is a different animal. You gotta come to Vegas Congress. I mean,
looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. My friend, whatever you need, let us know. Thank you for joining today. A lot of people had a great time. Looking forward to see you in person.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Take care.
All
Bye,
right,
guys.
have a good. Bye.